Today we are going to deconstruct a really powerful and kind of controversial idea about what wealth actually is. The argument is that true wealth isn't just about luxury stuff. It unlocks entirely different realities, experiences, and a sense of security that most of us can't even really wrap our heads around. So let's explore what those realities actually look like, according to this source.
And right there, that's the heart of the whole thing. This isn't about having a nice car. This frames wealth as a key to a completely different dimension of life. A dimension, it argues, that most people will never even get a peek at. So the point isn't about luxury. It's about fundamentally changing the very fabric of your reality.
So where does this all start? Well, interestingly enough, it's not with yachts or supercars, but with family. The source first anchors its definition of real wealth in its power to completely change your closest relationships and basically secure your family's future.
Now, to make this point, the source tells this incredible story. Just picture this for a second. You tell your parents you're taking them out to celebrate something. You drive up to this beautiful house, and as they're getting out of the car, you just hand your mom a keychain with her name on it, and it just clicks. Then you tell them the house is theirs, that you've paid off every single one of their debts, and you've set up a fund for them for the rest of their lives. That single moment, that gift of total, absolute security, that's presented as the first untouchable experience of wealth.
And it's not just about one big, flashy moment, right? The source argues that wealth becomes this tool that lets you step in during life's most critical moments. A loved one gets sick, you're not just crossing your fingers and hoping for the best. You are on the phone with the world's top specialists. You're facing challenges starting a family, a check can make it happen. You're basically buying time, buying health, and buying opportunity for the people you care about most.
Okay, so let's shift gears a bit. After looking at the impact on family, the source turns its focus inward. To the personal, psychological experience of what it calls absolute freedom. It's this state of being totally liberated from that day-to-day money anxiety that so many people feel.
So they paint this really stark picture, right? On one side, you've got that constant, low-level hum of financial stress. You know the one. The mental math you do at the grocery store, the anxiety about bills. But on the other side, there's a state of mind that's just described as peace. No need to rush anything. Waking up actually feeling rested. The source claims this mental clarity isn't just a nice little perk. It's one of the most profound and totally invisible benefits of being wealthy. So what does this absolute freedom actually look like? It's not just about, hopping on a first-class flight whenever you want. It's something way more fundamental. It's truly owning your time. I mean, imagine never ever worrying about being fired because you own the company, or being able to take your daughter to lunch on some random Wednesday just because you feel like it. The whole point here is about having absolute control over your schedule, your career, and at the end of the day, your own peace of mind.
All right, so that leads us perfectly into the third big idea here, which is all about access. The argument is that at a certain level, wealth doesn't just make life comfier, it fundamentally changes the rules of the game. It opens doors that for almost everyone else are permanently locked shut.
And really, this whole section boils down to one simple but kind of mind-blowing question. What if no was just a starting point? Think about it. For most of us, no is the end of the road. A show is sold out, an event is private. But the argument here is that for the truly wealthy, no is often just the beginning of a negotiation.
And this quote, wow, this just hits the nail on the head. It reframes these barriers that seem totally absolute as just having a really high price tag. Because according to this source, sometimes things aren't impossible, they're just expensive. It's such a blunt way of saying that money can literally bend reality to its will.
So what does that actually look like? Well, the source gives some pretty wild examples. We're talking about hanging out backstage with your favorite artist, not as some screaming fan, but as a peer. It means hiring the absolute best strategists in the world to solve your specific problems. And maybe the most powerful example of all is the access to an exit. The power to just walk away from a bad deal or a toxic person without ever having to worry about the financial fallout.
Okay, for our final part, we're getting into the really big, abstract ideas, what the source calls the ultimate expression of what it means to be truly wealthy. We're moving beyond the tangible stuff here.
And this is where they totally flip the script on how we even define wealth. The source says that real wealth isn't measured by how much you make, it's measured by how much you can lose without it changing your daily life one bit. It shifts the entire idea from income to pure resilience. Imagine losing $1 million and nothing changes. Life just continues on. That, it argues, is the real metric.
And that brings us to the very top, the final stage of all this. It's the point where your own needs are so completely taken care of that your focus just shifts outward. You see a problem in your community, a school that's struggling, a lack of opportunity for kids, and instead of just thinking, gee, I wish someone would fix that, you become the person who does. This is presented as the ultimate expression of wealth, the ability to actually reshape the world around you for the better.
So at the end of the day, the source leaves us with this one last thought-provoking question, and I'm going to ask it to you. After we've gone through this whole perspective on wealth, from family security to absolute freedom and even community impact, what does it make you think? I mean, really, what's the very first thing you would do if money was no longer a limitation? It's a question that really reveals a lot about what we truly value.